Hello students, this is our lecture on string buffer. So we have left out this chapter when we had discussed the string. So it is the continuation of the string chapter. So the string buffer is to some extent different from the string, the class that we have discussed already. So the main difference between a string buffer and a string class is that once you make a string object, then you cannot alter the string. Maybe the length of the string, maybe the length of the string you cannot alter, or the content of the string you cannot alter, because the object of the string now has been already prepared. However, to change the content or the length of the string, the flexibility, this flexibility is provided by the string buffer. Let me give you a very simple example to understand the difference between a string and a string buffer, right? So suppose this is your suppose this is your string, and which contains some of the characters, right? So I prepare the string. So these are the two string that we have prepared. So first string that we have made it is with the help of the string class. Okay, this we have made with the help of the string class, string, the string class, and the name of the object is ob1. Okay, and when you had made this object ob1 with the help of the string class, say for example the characters that you have inserted is s, m, I, and t, right? So you have made a character, you have made a string using the string class, stored in the prepared object, string object ob1, and the content is smit. Now you want to have some another name instead of smit, you want to have smu. So in string class you cannot alter it. What you cannot do? You cannot alter it. However, if you had made the string with the help of the string buffer, there is another class similar to string, there is string buffer. Say for example, we have made that string, okay, s, m, I, and t. You had initially made the string object to smit with the content smit, and you want to alter it, then it is allowed. You are allowed to alter it. Okay. So an example for alter is that say for example you want to create, you instead of smit you want to have smu, or smit smit abc you want to have it. Okay, a b c, that is possible. This addition of abc was possible, is possible in string in ob2, which has been created using the string buffer. However, the same is not possible in ob1, which has been created with the string class. Okay, so that is the main basic difference between the string buffer and a string class. So that's what the string buffer they all about is. Okay, so in short, string buffer will provide you more flexibility, convenience when you play with the string. So basically string buffer, there is a, as I told you that in order to create a string which you can alter it later on, you have to create using the string buffer, and there is a class called string buffer. So this you can see capital S capital B in string buffer. So you can easily make it out, it is the name of the class. So it is a pure class of the string, or the friend of the string class. Name is string buffer, which you can create it, provides more flexibility, more functionality when you deal with the string. So string represents, so in contrast to string buffer, string represents fixed length, immutable. Immutable means you can't change once it is formed. However, string buffer is growable as well as it is writable. So you can enlarge it, you can shorten it, you can rewrite the content. So that is possible only when you create the object using the string buffer. So it is very more flexible. String buffer is more flexible than string class. So you can perform using string buffer. You can perform insertion of characters, or addition of substring, or insertion of substring, anyway, maybe in the middle or at the end, etc. So now, when I say it is growable, one thing that should strike in your mind is that how it is growable. Okay. For example, suppose you have cells. Okay. You have some cells, okay, where you will be storing the characters. Right. Now, how a string can grow. Okay, so the string can grow only when it has got sufficient amount of space. So what is the main idea? The main idea that string buffer follows is that uh, the number of cells or the memory is required for storing the string will be much more than the current one. Okay, for example, suppose you want to store ABC. You want to store A, B and C. Okay, suppose you want to store A, B and C, so it will not allocate it on 3 or 4 cells. It will allocate much more than these 3 or 4 cells, so that later on when it is growable it can grow. If it want to grow, then it should be possible to grow. So that is the main aspect or the idea or the logic behind which string can grow, or string can grow or writable whenever you create it with the help of the string buffer. Okay. So that is the main idea about the pre-allocated. Okay, so it allocates more than the required rooms for creating the string. So now, what are the various ways with which you can create the string using the string buffer? So there are basically 4 ways. So we study the 4 different ways or the 4 types of the constructor with the help of which we can create the string buffer. So first one, okay. So whenever you create any string using the string buffer, okay, a constructor default constructor of the string buffer, then you can create it, okay, by invoking the string buffer with the empty content, empty parent, empty argument. So when you create it, then at that time there will be 16 characters that will be allocated to object. So it will be more clear if I give you the example. Suppose you create a string using the string buffer, string. Suppose you create a string buffer obj, right, equals to new string buffer, then empty parenthesis. Suppose you create this object by specifying this kind of command, wherein it is to be noted that in the parenthesis you have not given any informations. Okay, so in this scenario 16 characters memory, 16 characters will be allocated. 16 character will be allocated to this obj. 16 cells will be given, okay, for storing the information later on in this object obj. So that is the main idea about the string buffer. Now suppose you want to have 30. Suppose you want to have 30. So then in that case you have to specify in this parenthesis the value 30. Okay, so that is accomplished using the second method. So string buffer int size. So whatever the size that you will give it, it will accept it as an integer argument and will create that much amount of cells whenever it creates the object. The example I have already shown you. Third one is you can create the string. You can create the string by specifying the string object in the parenthesis as well. For example, string buffer obj equals to new string buffer, and in this double quote you write SMIT, so for example semicolon. So this is one way that you can also create the object by specifying the string object as an argument directly. So this is all about the first way of creating the string, second way of creating the string, and third way of creating the string. Just a recap of it. When we create the empty string without specifying any kind of dimension or for the string array, by default it will allocate 16 characters, 16 holes. If you want to have more than that or less than that, okay, you specify the value over here. You can even create 100 cells where you can store 100 characters at the same time. So that can be accomplished using second method. Third method is you can create a string by directly specifying the string object, maybe as a literals or as an object. The last one is instead of string, you can even specify the character array or character sequence. That way is also possible. Now we will see some of the common methods that are used or that may be useful for or whenever you work with a string buffer. The first one is the length of the string. Suppose you have a string. Suppose you have a string, this, right? And you want to know what is the length of this string that is stored in this object. So that can be accomplished using the length. So in this example, you can see there is an object SB that I have created using the string buffer, specified the string hello. So it is possible. So SB contains hello. Now if I want to know what is the length of this string, then you can invoke with the help of the object dot length method. So since length is the name of the method, so parenthesis should be there. Okay. Now string, you can, there is one very useful information that may be useful for you whenever you deal with the string buffer. Maybe you want to truncate it. Okay, so suppose you have a string, you have created a string, and inside the string you have got some values. Okay, so for simplicity I'm writing some value h e l l O. Okay, now you only want HE, you don't want LLO, but you have already made this string. Okay, so for example, the name of this object is OBJ. So the OBJ contains hello string, not a character array. Now instead of hello, you only want inside this object, instead of hello, you only want HE. You don't want LLO. Okay. Now that is possible when you delete the item from here onwards, from L onwards. So that is possible when you use the method set length. Okay, set length. So if you set the length up till here, then you will get HE. Okay. So say for example, in the Java, indexing starts from 0. So 0 is located in H. So in 0th location, H is located. In 1 location, E is located. 2, 3, 4, 5 and then so on. Okay, so if you want only H and E, so from index location 2 onwards you need to remove it, or you need to set the length. So you need to set the length of this obj till 1. Okay, how do you do so? So the syntax is string buffer sb equals to new string buffer hello. This statement will create sb as a string whose content will be hello as shown in this example. Then after that sb.setLength 2. So now you have set the length of the sb to 2. So till 2, 0, 1, 2. Okay, so till here, okay, it will set, and the last character will be replacing 0. So you will have the value h. Okay, or in other words, I can also interpret this thing in this way: set length 2. So you need only two characters. You need only two characters. This character. So I want only two characters. So you have set the limit to 2. So that's the meaning of 2 over here. So how many characters you want? 1, 2. Okay. Understood? Okay. Next, third one is set the character. Right? Set the character. Now you can replace. Now, once you have set the character, I can say that now the string obj now have the values h and e. Okay, and here null character. Okay, so now you want to change this e to some other value. Say for example, you want to change this e with, or you want to update this location value from e to I. Okay, so you want to have I. So 0 location, 1 location, 2 location. So okay, so in ith, that is in one location of this obj, replace e by I that you want to perform. So that can be accomplished using the setChar. SetChar goes like this way: where you want to store it. So in our case, the index location would be 1. In this ith in one location, now with what character I want to replace it. So e should be replaced with I. So here you should specify I. Okay. So let us see the example. String buffer sb equals to new string buffer hello. Then you have truncated, or you have set the length of this to 2. So 1, 2. So from e onward, from L onwards, third L onwards, the characters will get truncated. So you'll have in SB H, E and D. Then after that, using this command sb.setChar one location. So in the refer to location number 1 of this SB object, and whatever is there, replace it by I. So you will get HI. So when you perform SOP, so it will display hi. Next one is insert. Now you can insert one string into another string. So this method you'll understand in better way if we directly deal with the example. So first you create this string buffer sb equals to new string buffer, inside parenthesis double quote I space Java. Okay. Now between this I and Java, that is at location number 1, 0, 1, or location number 2, because I want to insert, I want to have space also. In location number 2, I want to insert some another string, like I want to store it in the third location, 0, 1, in the second location. Okay, so I'll just show you. So you have I space is there, like an exclamation mark, right? Now here somewhere here I want to insert the character, sorry, I Java. No? It should not be like this. Okay, it should be something I Java exclamation mark. So somewhere here I want to insert, okay, I want to insert like so that I can have, later on I can have I like Java. Okay. So this one from this to this I want to make it. So how can I do so? Okay. So first I will create the string I Java. Okay. Purposely I Java. Now, now you know that there is space between one space between I and j. Okay. So maintaining this space, I want to store this like keyword. So after I want to keep one space. So the first space is located at location index location 1, and I want to insert like from 2 onwards, index location 2 onwards. So insert from 2 onwards into this object the value like, and then after e also you give space in the double quote itself, so that after like also you get this space. So that's how you can create it. Okay. Now, whenever this sb.insert insert method is invoked, it will create or it will further invoke the value of method to actually create the string representation, overall string representation, whatever the this insert function returns it. Okay, so somehow the other at the end of this statement you have to have sb as a string, as sb should contain the proper string. So this will further invoke value of method. I hope I did made clear. So insert method is generally used to insert the string into another string, maybe somewhere in between or somewhere at the end, depends on the location, index location where you want to store it. The last one is append. Okay. Now append means append is another different kind of method that also works similar to the insert, but here you can append more than one string at the same time. You can see. So first, what has happened is that first there is a variable a which contains 42, right? There is a variable a which contains 42, int a, okay, 42. Then after that you have created a huge string, a very long string and empty string. So you have created what? You have got created, you have created very long string or empty array, string array where you are going to store it. So what is the length? Length is 40. 40 number of cells you have created. 40. Imagine 40 cells. In each of these cells, so number of cells is 40. So you have created, the name of the object is sb. And after that, that object is invoked to append this whatever you have specified in the double quote, followed by the a, whatever the value a is holding, then exclamation mark. Okay, and at the end, what after appending it, you convert it into a string. And whatever string has been prepared after appending, the string will be storing or referring to this object s. Okay. So here in this case, what is happening over here is that first you have a equals to. So first you will make a equals to, a equals to. Okay. So you have a equals to, first statement. To that a equals to, you append another a, that is 42, which is in the form of the integer. So it will further invoke the value of method. So what is the value of 42? 42 will be inserted over here. 42. Then after that, dot append exclamation marks, and after that you have again appended exclamation mark. Then everything will be converted to, will be sent to string to find the string equivalence, and once a string is formed, that will be assigned to s. So this will be basically referring to s. Okay, so that's how you will get the output a equals to 42. So somewhere you have inserted directly literals, string literals, somewhere the value of the integer variable, okay, and so on. So here during this process, sometimes it has to invoke value of because it does not know the actual value or whatever is there in a, and totally depends on the data type as well. Since it is an integer, so you have to find the 4 into number 4 or string 4, 2 into string 4, etc, etc. Okay, so that's all about the some of the common methods of string buffer. We have discussed length of the string, how to calculate length of the string, how to set the length of the string. By setting the length of the string, you can truncate or you can define it. Okay, and then you can insert a character at anywhere location depending upon the index value that you will be assigning it. And then after that, you'll be inserting the one string into another string and then append. Okay, okay, that's all for today. So this is one of the simple questions that you can try it on your own. So uh, there is a string str which contains the value hello, and you have to convert this hello into caps hello. So there are various ways with which you can accomplish this task. So up to you. Okay, so you can try it on your own. You try to do it with the string buffer because string will not work because CSELLO. So here you are once, as you all know that string once it is made, it is immutable. String is immutable, whereas um, string buffer you can change it. Some more questions. Okay, you can see it. Okay, so there is an answer over here. Okay. So you can try this small exercise. Not only this, you can try all this example exercise that I given you. Okay, during due course of this lecture. So I hope I had made it clear. Thank you. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please do post.